McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop, Season 2, Episode 15. Well met, dear ghost. October 10th, 1921. Continued. After that, we all dispersed. Magic Unusuals ran right and left, while Mr. McGillicuddy stood in the centre and looked at his watch. He muttered something into it, sending a message to someone, perhaps. He'd scared the living daylights out of me with his message a few days ago. Perhaps someone else was about to see a magical recording of Mr. McGillicuddy. "Mr. McGillicuddy," I said. I stepped up to him. "Yes, Maud." He clicked the watch shut. "How long do we have?" "Oh," Mr. McGillicuddy said, "we're probably already too late. For no damage to occur to them, that is. I don't really know. Do I wish we could rescue them right this minute? Yes. We will be flying from one idea to the next until we get this right, but I don't think we'll hit on the right idea tonight. And once we have the idea, we'll have to arrange its execution. I think you have at least 24 hours, my dear. Hopefully not much longer than that, for their sakes." "I will find the secret entrance before then," I said. "I swear it." Mr. McGillicuddy smiled, in a patronizing kind of way. I wonder if he found me too eager. "You'd best hurry," he said. I stepped to a corner of the room and rubbed my arms. I wasn't going to sleep for a while, that was certain. I pinched the tip of my nose and stared into the light of a candle to help myself wake up. "Think, Maud," I said, "you dizzy-headed fish. Where would you start to find a secret entrance to the Night Enthusiast Cave?" "Ariana, of course." I asked to gain access to her room, and I was let inside. The girl in charge of the key locked the door behind me, but she did send me in with a plate of cookies. Ariana's prison was a larger room, red and pink, in tones of russet and gold. Like most of Mr. McGillicuddy's borrowed doors, this door had created a room with windows. The view was magnificent. Whirls of snow and dark, chattering trees. "Ah, you've brought cookies," Ariana said. "Is that to bribe me?" "Yes," I said. I went and sat down on her bed. "How are you so far?" "Feeling like a girl trapped in a train car," she said. "Now's not really the time to make jokes about that," I said. I explained what had happened, and that I needed to know about the secret entrance. "My head is spinning," Ariana said. She pressed her fingertips into her temples. "But whichever side I'm on, I want you to get them out of those train cars." She looked up at me, her eyes earnest. "I wish I knew where the secret entrance is, but I don't." "You don't?" I said. I had 24 hours, and Ariana was my only lead. "No, but I have a very slight clue," she said. She popped a cookie into her mouth and started chewing. "I once saw Madame Mamungus in the old Oslo cemetery. She looked secretive and grumpy, so I hid behind a tree and I didn't let her see me. There are no Mamunguses buried in Oslo cemetery, and trust me, I would have noticed a tombstone with a last name like that." "What did she do?" I said. "Well, that's just it, she was leaving," Ariana said, "so I didn't get to see what she'd been up to. But Oslo Cemetery isn't far from the Purgatory Lounge. If you ask me, I bet there's a secret entrance hidden inside one of the crypts." I got up. "Thank you," I said. "I'll start there." I put a cookie in my pocket and then stood there awkwardly. "Thank you for bringing me here, Maud," Ariana said. It's better." "You're sure you're not bored?" I said. "Oh, I'm bored," she said. "But it's still better than the life I had before I met you. I'll work something out." She gave me a quick hug. "Off you go, then." I nodded. I wished I was bringing her with me. I left Ariana's room and made my way to the entrance of the secret basement. Mr. McGillicuddy and some of the other Magic Unusuals were in the living room, bent over maps and papers. I left them to their planning, and I slipped up the staircase. It felt strange to be leaving again so soon. I pushed open the trapdoor, and I once again entered that strange room, saw the red lettering, "Death to all mice." After a little searching, I located the nail, and I gripped it. With a gentle tug of teleportation, I found myself once again in McGillicuddy and Murder's pawn shop. The pawn shop no longer felt empty. It felt like the gentle, beautiful shell that housed everything I'd been looking for. I'd been past Oslo Cemetery before, so I shut my eyes and imagined the spot. I teleported outside the gates, into a cold wind. I felt bitten into, like the night was a sulking ferret that wanted to get me back. I looked left and right, then teleported directly inside the cemetery. There's something peaceful about a graveyard at night. In the past, it would have also been terribly spooky, but I'm the ghost now. My eyes glow in the dark, and I can vanish any time I wish. It's hard to be afraid of anything when you can disappear in a split second. I wandered up and down, feeling cold and lost, and purposeless. What was I supposed to do? Walk up to every crypt and knock on the door? I took back my previous thought about graveyards no longer being spooky. Knocking on someone else's sepulchre was something entirely different. I could envision a harrow-faced, blue, glowing, gloomy old man coming to the door and staring at me with the eyeballs of hell. I selected a crypt at random and walked towards it. What if this was a complete waste of my time? What if I searched all night until my fingers were numb, and this cemetery had nothing to do with the secret entrance to the Night Enthusiast Cave? What if Ariana had been pulling my leg, mad at me, mad at the Night Enthusiasts, ready to send me on a wild goose chase to get revenge on all of us? I was feeling frustrated already when I stepped up to the crypt and saw something inside. It was a light, a small puff of orange light. For a moment, I thought it was the eye of the evil dead, winking at me, and then I realized it was a match being struck. Ghosts don't strike matches. Someone was inside that crypt, lighting a ciggy. I froze, not sure what to do next. Had they seen me? I could see into the crypt through a small glass window, and whoever was inside could probably see out. Was it too dark? Or could they see me? Was the moon out? Oh, never mind, my eyes glowed in the dark. They'd seen me. They also appeared to have dropped their match. I shut my eyes and waited. I wasn't sure what to do next. If it was a night enthusiast in there, would they retreat into the secret entrance? I was acting ridiculous. It was probably some street urchin, wanting a private smoke. There were no glowing... Oh, never mind. There were the eyes. I felt, in a strange way, like I was looking into a mystic mirror. Beyond the iron framework of the door, eyes like mine glowed back at me. Finally, I decided I'd had enough indecision. I grabbed the cold handle of the crypt door and tugged. I stepped into the stale air beyond and said, "Who are you?" There was a startled silence. I could hear the other person breathing. Based on how tall they were, I guessed they were a man. Then, the other Magic Unusual lit their match again and tipped the flame into a candle. Our faces were suddenly illuminated. "Oh," the man said. "Maud." I stared. I gaped. My heart did somersaults, and I felt the thrill anyone feels when they come face to face with a ghost. The person in the crypt with me was Noble James. We hope you've enjoyed Season 2, Episode 15. Well met, dear ghost, of McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop. McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop is written and performed by Minerva Sweeney Wren, all rights reserved. Visit minervasweeneywren.com to see photographs of the real McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop and learn how you can support the show. Keep it advertisement-free and explore more stories by Minerva Sweeney Wren. McGillicuddy and Murder's Pawn Shop will continue with Season 2, Episode 16. An Unexpected Twirl.